In a world that is on the verge of financial chaos, there are rumblings of a huge change going on in the halls of global power. The International Monetary Fund, which is in charge of keeping the world economy stable, has been quietly getting ready for the next big financial event. But this time, they aren't going to print more special drawing rights or use secret dollar diplomacy to solve the problem. A tipster who was able to listen in on private IMF meetings says that the world's richest people are about to start using XRP to power a whole new system. Yes, XRP. The same digital asset that most financial experts have ignored for years is now at the center of the IMF's emergency bailout plan. Their own model for valuing things says that XRP is worth an amazing $500,000. Music? This is not exaggeration, it is a change in the way the world's money system works. First, let's look at what the IMF can't do right now. When a country's economy is about to fail, the IMF usually comes in and gives loans in SDRs, which are made up of fake currencies like the dollar, euro, yen, and pound. But it takes a long time for these funds to be used because they are tied to politics and often come with harmful economic measures. Even worse, SDRs depend on paper currencies that are already very weak. The IMF knows that this model doesn't work in today's fast-paced, interconnected digital economy. So they've been looking into a blockchain-based answer behind closed doors. That being said, XRP stood out from the other choices, such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, and stablecoins. Music. Why XRP? Because XRP has something that no other digital currency does. There is almost instant cross-border payment, very low transaction fees, built-in compliance layers, and a track record of success with global financial institutions. Over 100 banks and payment providers have already teamed up with Ripple, the company that runs the platform for XRP. XRP isn't just an idea. Already it's acting as the grease for the wheels of international banking. It's about to become the most important part of the biggest change in the money system since Bretton Woods. It was said in the leak that IMF researchers simulated different global bailout situations using XRP as the reserve asset. It was nothing short of revolutionary what happened. XRP-based distributions could meet their goals in minutes instead of weeks, unlike fiat bailouts. On-chain funds could be locked, tracked, or inspected, making sure that everything was clear and everyone was responsible. There are two things that regular IMF plans really need. The best thing about XRP was that it was quick and easy to use. So even big changes to the economy could be made without causing inflation or currency devaluation. This isn't about ideas. It has to do with math. And XRP makes sense. The valuation tool that came up with the $500,000 number is based on the need to refinance debt around the world. With more than $300 trillion in debt around the world, the IMF needs a way to settle debts that can handle trillions of dollars without falling apart. There are only 100 billion XRP tokens in circulation, and many of them are locked in escrow or owned by long-term stakeholders. This means that demand would quickly drive up the value. For XRP to be used to pay off just 10% of the world's debt, it would have to be worth between $250,000 and $500,000 per coin. And that's assuming it's rolled out slowly. The demand shock could make prices go up even more if the financial situation is bad and XRP is used quickly. Things get even more interesting now. According to the documents that were leaked, the IMF isn't just getting XRP ready to be used in poor countries like Lebanon and Argentina. They are making models of what could happen in cases where even strong economies like Italy, Spain, and the US might need XRP to keep the system from collapsing. The idea is that XRP would become the new global fund that is not tied to any one country or group of banks. Because of this, XRP is a great tool for the IMF. It doesn't have any government ties, is better technologically, and can be used all over the world. What does this mean for you? In this case, XRP is no longer just a crypto product for speculation. It is now a tool of global politics. People around the world are fighting about Bitcoin ETFs and meme coins, but the IMF is getting ready to add XRP to the core of the world economy. This isn't just a change in how money is handled. It's really a complete change in how banking works right now. Imagine a world where whole national bailouts are completed in real time on the XRP record with no hidden agendas and complete honesty. It's not a dream. That type is the new one. Music. Let's think about the effects that will happen later. Pun definitely meant. When governments start getting bailout money in XRP, they will have no choice but to use it, hold on to it, and do business with it. People who work for central banks will become huge fans of XRP very quickly. Every financial firm will have to build the tools they need to work with the XRP ledger. Across countries, liquidity corridors will be built, which will connect markets like never before. 𝗙𝗶𝗶 on-demand liquidity solution will actually become the most important part of foreign finance. The rate of acceptance won't rise slowly. It will be straight up and down. And since XRP is being used more quickly, its price has to go up to keep up with the needs of world trade. The media will try very hard to understand it. It will be a race for governments to get it. Retail investors who saw how much it was really worth early on will likely become famous quickly. But most people will have missed it because they were too busy listening to the noise while the IMF planned the biggest change in money in modern times. Now, picture yourself as a country that is about to go bankrupt. Your foreign funds are running out, your currency is falling, and the yields on your bonds are going through the roof. Back in the day, you had to beg the IMF for a dollar loan and agree to all of its terms. In the new world, you get XRP, which is liquid, can be programmed, and can be used right away. It is either changed into your country's currency when needed, or kept as a backup asset by your central bank. The people in your country see stability. Your government takes back power. The problem has been contained and has not gotten worse. This is the promise of XRP as a way to get out of trouble. There is more than one digital coin. There is a digital life raft. Also, don't think that the IMF is working by itself. The World Bank, the BIS, and several other central banks have already met behind closed doors to talk about how XRP could be used to service cross-border loans. Everything is already set up. It's not longer a question of if, but when. And the way world markets are moving, the time may come faster than anyone thinks.